Ball League mentioned to me that there's a very hazardous section of the sand right near the courts where they play that has rocks under the sand, and showed me both knees from having played the night before, which looked pretty chewed up. So I don't know. I said you should speak to the park management while you're there and show them. So just something to mention in case somebody really gets hurt. I know the season is over, but it could just as easily be a child on the sand.
Mrs. Wells, I just want to bring you up to speed also, is that the accounting and the way that this new administration has been taking the administration, the finance department, to task to make sure that everything is accounted for correctly. So you'll see that the progress...
A little skewing.
And so 2010, 2011, from 2009, you're going to see it's going to be much more accurate. And as this goes on, this work in progress, and obviously the mayors, the commissioners are going to sit through this and obviously have this exit meeting at the end of this season and find out what they can do even better. So they're being very proactive, and that's the reason why you may see some different numbers. And also, one thing that you should know is that a handful of years ago, there was a lot of cost that came out of the town of Rye and then was backfilled, and things happening back and forth just to operate the park. Now things are done much more accurately and much more in real time. So that's probably why you see that as well.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thanks for your time, sir. Did you have a comment? No? Okay, I'm sorry. Anyone else? Mr. Vitti?
Yes, sir. I hear a lot of comments about the dogs. I got fired because of that. And Mr. Joffrey, I don't know why, but he fired me, and that was it. I just did my job, excuse me, and for the safety of the people, I told this lady to get the dogs on a leash, and she was in a restricted area. So I said SOB, not SOB, I'm sorry, bullshit, I said. Fred Joffrey just fired me without a hearing, and I can't understand why, because BS is nothing compared to what you hear in the movies and the TV. Nothing. And I can't understand why you didn't find that woman, Mr. Mayor French. She broke the law, not the Rye law, state law. Why wasn't she fired? I mean, fined.
Excuse me, I think this is an inappropriate forum for a labor dispute with the commission. Perhaps you could take it to another, rather than waste all our time. This is not a public issue.
Well, actually,
it sure is.
We're not going to have a debate. The person has the opportunity to speak. The board has the opportunity to listen.
Right.
And that's what we are. This, unfortunately, is a democracy. So people can come up here and scream and yell at us and express their displeasure, but that's democracy. So.
I mean, I can answer the question. I mean,
I would encourage you not to.
Okay. But I do have an answer, but I will listen to counsel and not answer, but I have an answer. Okay.
Well, that's the extent of it. I'd like to see Mr. Joffrey rehire me for the last half of August and most of September, and I will keep quiet after this.
Thank you, Mr. Vitti.
That's, and I mean, I was shot down by Mr. Carvin last time without the consensus of the rest of the board, including my mayor. So I think that was unfair.
Actually, I'll speak. I consider this to be a personnel issue, and therefore it's inappropriate to discuss the details publicly.
Why?
Because it's a personnel issue.
Well,
We're not discussing.
Right.
You can talk.
But we will not. That's correct.
Anything else, Mr. Vitti?
I guess not, because nobody wants to listen. But I can make one suggestion. If you Google Mr. Joffrey, you'll find out you've fired the wrong person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vitti. Anybody else from the public who would like to speak? Very good. Okay. That being said, is there anything from the commission? Mayor French?
No, I'm finished.
Mayor Feinstein?
I have two pieces of business that I need to bring up for you.
Okay.
As both old and new business. We got an email from Susan Auslander. If you'll remember, about 3 meetings ago, we approved her filing for a new state grant. She has completed that filing. We have paid her for that filing. She sent us an item here that another one of my clients up in Kingston just received a $350,000 federal grant for its building. Do you want me to try for you? The same. She would offer the same terms. This is, in essence, she's trying to duplicate the grant that we just used for the roof, where you have state funds that are then used as matching funds to be able to get you federal funds. So I will have her come in at the next meeting and give you a presentation because I think it may be worthwhile to take a listen there. All right, and then lastly, I just wanted to alert the commissioners. This is just a work in progress at the moment, but it may come up as an issue. The Seaside Johnny's subsidy checks, if you will, paperwork has come in. We've, after spot checking, found some anomalies. And what we are trying to do now is we are developing a database of all of that paperwork to try and validate the subsidy, the parking subsidy that was agreed to about, again, I think at the beginning of the season. It is substantial, but there are things like they're offering rebates for checks under $25, which was not what was agreed to. The Seaside check time is actually before the Ride-Town parking ticket. The elapsed time for dining, we're actually measuring the time that the tickets are actually issued, is less than 15 minutes. So there are a number of those kinds of issues. We're going to identify it. We're going to have it ready. It kind of goes with what Mayor French was saying about having an exit meeting with Seaside Johnny's. So we will be prepared for the next meeting.
What's the date of the next meeting?
Oh, I'm sorry, third Tuesday. I apologize. I don't know what the actual date is.
Gotcha. So it'll be the 21st maybe, right?
That being said, two very important things for the public. Number one, if you're handicapped, when you're coming to the gate, please alert the person at the gate. Let them know that you may need assistance. The person at the gate will contact the park foreman and make sure that you get that assistance. Number two, if you're walking your dog in the park, please keep the dog on the leash. It's very simple. And I think it makes us all good neighbors and better park users and obviously would help with keeping our meetings shorter. So that being said, I guess we really can't entertain a motion to close the meeting, so I guess we'll just say good night for now.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Good job.